every day is seriously incredibly gratifying, because you know that every penny you give is going to save a life. If we left them there in the nuclear radiated areas, would either pass away, die, or be seriously affected in some medical way.
And we went into one girl's room, and Yossi said, you know, today is this girl's birthday. And so Yossi says, what do you want? And she went, nothing. He goes, no, what do you want? Tell me anything you want. What do you want? And she went, nothing, I'm okay. And he goes, no, really, what do you want? And she went, a white dress. I would love a white dress. And it was just so touching, because as Shimi and I were talking about, our children could have like 10 white dresses in the closet, and if you say, what do you want, they have a list, you know? And this child was just, she wanted just one little thing, and we had to push her to get it out of her. And Yossi went and got her a white dress.
Well, one thing just to put in perspective to everybody here, when we had our attack on the Twin Towers, if they had hit that nuclear power plant, within 100 miles of New York City, the ground would have been contaminated. No one would be here in New York City. No one would be in most of Jersey, Long Island. All of these areas would be contaminated, and we would have to be out of here. So we are so lucky that, you know, what we have, and that we're where we are in the time that we were born. And I'm a very thankful person. When you look at these kids, it makes you really reflect on, you know, how lucky things can be for some and how tough things can be for others.
A little girl at the end, and I didn't really notice her until the end. When we were leaving, she stood on the balcony and she just looked at us and waved, and I left feeling that, you know, it was great. All the things that were happening were great, but I was also reminded that how deeply these kids have been affected, that they've lost their parent. They said the average life expectancy of an adult was 46, and that they didn't have a lot of family, and that in addition to some of the health issues, they were bruised, and that their visit really meant a lot. And just watching her look out and waving was a moment that I will remember, and it's the moment that's keeping me engaged.
Yossi Reichik once came to me and said that we need the board to approve a $250,000 loan for a bone marrow transplant. Otherwise, we ran the risk of losing one of the boys that we had brought over. And I called him a couple of days later, and he said to me, it was too late, and we lost him. And it was like a knife in my heart. Because like Norman said, this is something that you feel. This is something that you give your money, you give your heart, you give whatever you have time, you give your time. Whatever we give is appreciated. But we didn't make it. And it made me feel so bad. I never want to have that feeling again.
You know, it amazes me when people say, why Israel? We're the only people doing it. We are the only people doing it. If it wasn't for us, how many kids were brought in?
2,863.
They wouldn't be here.